Hey everybody, welcome to Com 231. My name is Aaron Murdoch, and I'm going to be your instructor for the next 8 weeks in our accelerated public speaking class. So glad that you're here, and I'm looking forward to spending the next few weeks together. So I just want to go through some of our the course shell, some housekeeping things just to kind of help you get acclimated with our course together. So let's get started. We are currently on the course homepage, which if you click on the index here, it's right here. So it lets you know exactly where you are in the course. And we have our course announcement section. This is where I will primarily be communicating with you. These course announcements also go to your college email account, so please make sure that you take a look at these on a regular basis. This is a link to our syllabus, and I'll get into that just a little bit later. Just a little bit a blurb about me. This is our textbook. It is a free resource, so you just click on it, it'll take you right there. This is a link to our Student Success Center. If you need any help with writing or research or formatting, APA and MLA style, that sort of thing, the Student Success Center is there to help you. So it's not just for math and English and science, it's also can be used for public speaking. And they will also listen to your speech and provide feedback if you like. So kind of a unique experience there. And lastly, this is our Library Learning Commons. This is a link to our database for any academic research that you would like to access. So next, we want to go down to getting started, do these first. So we want to click on this. And this is, if you've taken a course at Blue Ridge before, you have to do this for every single class. So they are mandatory. So please complete the syllabus, the solo, and the run, hide, fight acknowledgement quizzes by March the 12th in order to stay enrolled in the class. This is college policy, so please make sure you complete these sooner rather than later, just so we don't have to worry about them later. So if you could do them today or tomorrow, that would be great. I just don't want you to forget about them. Okay, so next, let's go back to our course homepage. We're going to click on our syllabus. Okay, so here's just some information about me. This is my contact information, my email. I do have office hours. However, I realize that this is an online class, and office hours probably won't work for you. So just reach out, and we will set up a time to talk, to do a video chat, whatever that we need to do to meet your needs that you may have. This is just our course description, some of the student learning outcomes that we're going to be covering over the next 8 weeks. Again, another link for our textbooks. Evaluation policies and procedures. So extra credit, I don't offer any extra credit opportunities, and the reason why is because I feel like there are enough little assignments and quizzes and ways that you can boost your grade without any extra credit. So I think you're going to be busy enough in this course, so as long as you are completing your work and submitting it on time, you're not going to have a problem. So just kind of keep that in mind. Work late policy. Because this is an 8-week class, we are moving at double the amount of speed, basically, as a 16-week class. So if you get behind in this class, it's going to be very difficult to get caught up. So I don't accept any late work. However, I'm not heartless. I understand that things happen. And if something happens beyond your control that is pretty serious in nature, please reach out to me. If you can reach out to me sooner rather than later, if you anticipate something happening, please reach out because I can help you before the due dates. If it's going to be like a week after the due dates before I hear from you, it's a lot more difficult for me to help. So please reach out as soon as possible if something does come up, and I'll be more than happy to work with you. Final grades. All final grades are final. Sometimes I'll get emails to round them up, and so my courses already rounds up the final grade, so I can't round up a number that's already been rounded up. So please know that the final grades are exactly that. They are final. This is how the assignments are going to be valued and weighted this semester. We're going to have a few different speeches. We're going to have the narrative speech, which is 10% of your overall grade, the informative speech, which is 30%, In the persuasive speech, also 30%. We have another special occasion speech. It's more of a fun one. It's a small one at the end. It's 5% of your grade. And then our exams and midterms are 10%, and our quizzes are 5%. So as you can see, where things are weighted the most is the speech, right? Because the speech, to me, is the test. But I have to have some way to evaluate and assess retention, so that's the reason why I do have some exams and some quizzes. However, they are weighted fairly low in comparison to our other assignments. So as you can see, the emphasis is not on the test, the emphasis is on your speech. Of course, our grading scale. If you ever have an issue, if there's something that we have something that is just irking you and you need to talk about it, please reach out to me. I'm 99.9 times out of 10, we're going to be able to solve it together. However, if there's something that is beyond my control, or you're just not happy with the outcome, you're more than welcome to contact my dean. And this is his name, and a way that you can complete the grievance policy. Attendance policy, because this is an online class, attendance is going to be tracked through your submitted assignments. So if you're submitting assignments on a regular basis, that equals regular attendance in this course. So if more than 2 weeks full of assignments in this online class goes by, you're going to be probably withdrawn from the class for excessive absences. So we don't want that to happen, so let's make sure that we keep on top of our assignments and complete them on the dates that they're due. Academic honesty, of course, we don't want to cheat, right? We don't want to plagiarize. We don't want to pretend that we're someone else. When it comes to using AI, we're not going to use AI in this course. I want to hear your ideas and your thoughts, and I want to hear your stories, because that's what presenting a speech is all about. It's basically telling a story. So I want to hear your story. I don't want to hear it through a robot or some made-up manufactured voice. I want to hear your thoughts and ideas, and that to me is more important than receiving a perfectly refined speech that was done through the computer. So just kind of keep that in mind, right? You're not really doing yourself any favors by using AI to complete your assignments, because we have to have the ability to think critically and understand and put together ideas in a way that makes sense, that's organized and logical, using logos, pathos, and ethos. So keep that in mind, please. So let's not use AI for our assignments in this class. Okay. If for a disability, if you haven't registered with our Accessibility Services office, please do so. Our coordinator, her name is Carolyn Levine, and this is her information right here. So if you feel that you or are in need of some accommodations, if they're not already on file, please reach out to her and she will work with you on that. All right, this is our course schedule. So this is week 1. We're going to be talking about public speaking basics, delivery and presenting, the anxiety speech. So this is going to be our very first module in our first assignments, and everything is always going to be due on the Sunday night at 11:59, unless otherwise stated. But that's the plan. Sunday night will be the due date for all of our assignments. Okay, so let's go to our week 1 module. So we go down here, we just click on week 1, and here we are. So what we're going to be doing this week, this video here, this is the video that you're currently watching, so obviously you probably don't have to watch that again, unless you really want to. Here are our weekly readings, Chapter 1 and Chapter 11, the basics of public speaking, and also a chapter about delivery methods of what to do when we're presenting a speech. These are the lectures and the notes to accompany those lectures. This is going to be our first video. It's called Speaking Up Without Freaking Out. This is a speech about how to handle anxiety when it comes to public speaking. Here's another lecture when it comes to delivery and also the notes and what to do when delivering your speech, lecture, and also the notes to go along with that module or chapter as well. Okay, so this week we are going to be completing an anxiety speech and a chapter 11 quiz. So let's click on the anxiety speech. So after completing and reading chapter 1 and viewing the TED Talk video, Speaking Up Without Freaking Out, as I just mentioned, we want to reflect on the following question. What aspects of public speaking causes you to experience anxiety or fear? So I want you to talk about 2 specific examples that cause you to feel anxiety or nervousness or even fear, right? Please keep in mind they can be both rational and irrational, right? Meaning they can be realistic or unrealistic. I remember, I'll give you an example. I had a student say that they had a fear of the lighting. The rack on the lighting on a stage was going to fall down on top of them while they're giving a speech. Now that's pretty irrational. However, I guess it could happen, but the chances are pretty unlikely. So these are the types of things that I'm thinking about. Obviously, that's an extreme example, right? Probably a more realistic example is I'm afraid that I'm going to stumble over my words, or I'm going to forget. My mind will completely go blank, right? These are the types of things that we tend to focus on. So the speech is going to be about 2 minutes. And again, I want you to describe at least 2 examples of public speak or things that give you anxiety or fear when it comes to public speaking. Pages 7 to 10 of the textbook is going to help you with not only listing the things that are giving you those anxieties or fears, but also ways that we can overcome them. And really, that's the most important part about this speech. We want to acknowledge the fears, right? 2 specific fears of what really makes you afraid or gives you nervousness or anxiety when it comes to public speaking, but also I want you to come up with ways that we can address them or reduce them, right? Or even eliminate them from occurring in the first place, right? There's a lot of things that we can do in preparation for our speeches, so I want you to talk about that in about 2 minutes, okay? Because this is an online class, you need an audience, right? I want you to have at least 3 audience members, either in person or virtual. If you are using a virtual audience, please show their faces. Please get them to announce their name even, just so that I know that they're actually there. Or they could just wave to the camera. I'm just looking for some sort of acknowledgement that you actually have an audience there that is listening to you. I want you to film yourself from head to toe. I don't want you to edit it. I want you to do it in one continuous take. All right? And I also want you to make sure that you record your speech in an environment that is suitable for a speech, suitable for public speaking. So I don't want you to, believe it or not, I've had speeches in a parking lot. Probably not the best environment for giving a speech. So a living room is great. Even outside is great. As long as we can hear you and that there's no distractions, that will work for me. And I want you to respond to at least one classmate's speech with some sort of a thoughtful comment. If you haven't done so already, YouTube is the best way that I have found to host our speeches. If you do it through my courses, they can only handle about 2 minutes or so, and it's very, very laggy. It's not the best way to record and watch speeches. So if you don't have a YouTube account, please create one. If you're worried about privacy, don't worry about that, because you can list them as unlisted or public, and no one's going to be able to view them except for those that have the link. Okay, so, and then after the class is over, you can just delete them. So let's use YouTube and then post that link to the discussion forum. So really look forward to this assignment. This is kind of a fun one for me, and I hope, I'm sure you're really going to be able to come up with some effective strategies as well of how to handle anxiety when it comes to public speaking. Okay, I've done a lot of talking. That is going to wrap it up for our introduction speech. And I look forward again to working with each and every one of you. If you ever have any questions or concerns, my contact information is in the syllabus. Please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll be more than happy to help. All right, I'll see you online. Take care.